And hello again, everyone, and welcome back to the stream. I am Zim, and we are now doing some PowerWash Simulator. Alright, now you can carry on. Oh,
Anyway.
actually, one more thing. Sorry, I gotta read the story stuff. Clean the stunt plane. My mama always told me never trust a man with a unique mustache. So why did I accept a job from an absolute unit with a top lip like an angry beaver? Truth is, the stunt work has dropped off, and I take work where I can. We are doing...
I'm just picturing that their top lip is literally just one of the two angry beavers taped on.
Yes, yes, yes! The purple one.
Yes.
Truth is, the stunt work has dropped off, and I take work where I can. We were doing some kind of revenge mission egg drop on this temple out in the middle of nowhere, and obviously the whole thing went terribly wrong. To be fair, it would have been fine had the client not insisted that we dived low so he could get the last shot in himself, and we overtook all the eggs on the way down. Multiple embryonic bird strikes to the engine later, and it's a miracle we made it down safely at his airport, albeit with eggs on our faces. Good! I want to clean
Okay,
your
this
plane.
sounds even
Yikes.
this sounds even more like a plot for an Angry Beavers episode.
Well, and the thing is the guy's name is Jean-Claude Flambeau.
Oh God.
I don't know the
Storyboard's
reference.
trying to kill us.
Yeah. Anyway, good news! My pop filter and my boom for my mic arrived today.
Yay!
Nice!
Nice. I'm still.
So I no longer have to crane around my microphone to see my screen.
I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to buy for a new studio mic since mine's finally died. Properly.
I'm just using a HyperX Quadcast that my viewers and friends helped me get.
Oh, nice.
Looks pretty good.
So, it's nice to hear that those things finally arrived.
Yeah, actually they were supposed to arrive Friday, so they're actually here early and that made me really happy.
Awesome!
My little bit of good news is I found my little sack of flash drives that's been missing for a couple months.
Yay, flash drives!
I don't have any good news. Only pain, misery, agony, and death.
You managed to stream today, that's some pretty good news.
That's nothing new.
You hadn't been feeling well.
Yeah, but I'm
Good.
I stream every day.
Yes, but you had to take a couple days off, so it's nice that you're feeling good enough to stream today.
Well, here's Zim. I'll do
Wait,
the good
what?
news.
When did I take a couple
You
days
mentioned-
off?
You mentioned having to take a couple streams off, like the end of last week. Maybe I'm crazy.
I took one day off.
Still, you're feeling better enough to stream. And that's good news.
Here, I'll do good news for you, Zim. Good news, everyone! Zim is still cute!
Facts.
That is false though.
You lie.
Dragon,
What's up?
I want poker roll.
I called it.
No.
Okay.
Hey, Rygon.
What's up?
Poke roll?
Okay.
Yay!
Guys.
All right, let me get switched over. Give me a title.
I'll poke Arzi.
Let me think. Title: Book a Roll Session. They all go to sleep.
I mean, that could actually turn into
I
a
have a
very
suggestion.
interesting.
I could see it going so wrong.
Pokeroll Episode X. A full night's sleep? What's that?
I mean, if we change the category to just sleeping,
Your pack has been sent, Pan.
Yay!
joke. Now I must ask, is it Panthenea?
It is.
Hey, I got it. Hot damn, I said the thing correctly for once.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Oh, Rygon's gonna hate me.
What's up?
I pulled an epic card. And I'm gonna be such a gremlin with it.
Which one?
Fair enough.
I get to choose a mission.
Oh, that's great. There ain't none right now.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What I would probably do is I would just take a quick 1-2 with you, and I would offer you probably about like 5 different choices, and then you get to choose one. Because technically, if you play it right now, it would go through because, well, the team technically isn't on a mission, but on the overarching plot.
There.
So where's the plot hole?
I think they left it all the way back at the Rainbow Falls.
Dang.
So, Panth, have you happened to have a chance to look at the document for the Pokemon tabletop?
I've glanced at it a couple of times, but I have been absolutely slammed prepping for this weekend.
That's fair. Well, are you slammed right now?
I'm not, but I'm not sure how much brain power I have. The adrenaline from this morning kind of left me short on spoons.
Ah. I'm just trying to figure out a good, good attributes. Everybody's got their opinions about what is and isn't good, and I can't come up with anything myself.
Well, I think I should have some time. I can go over it in depth with you on Tuesday.
Okay.
I've got the event Friday, Saturday, Sunday this week, and Monday I try not to do anything because, you know, it's a 60-hour weekend. About 60-hour weekend. I hardly get any sleep, and so I try to take Monday down. So I should be able to circle up with you Tuesday.
Cool.
And Rygon, I am giving that cards. Oh, I only got one piece of 2. I didn't realize that was a 2-piece card. Oops.
Just for that reason, yeah.
Smart.
And I'd say probably part of that is just simply because these things take time to prep.
Oh, most definitely, most definitely.
Like
I
if
was
you
always-
had literally just come not too long ago, I had like 15 missions lined out. You could have had your pick.
Fair. That's all right. I have a couple of loose concepts that I can flesh out by the time I get the other
I'm
half
going
of that.
to point out that this isn't a you design the mission.
No. But if I have an idea of what I'm thinking, Raygon and I can discuss where that fits in what he wants to do as well.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, more or less, I just present you with some options, and we can try to hit the one that fits closest if you'd like. And that doesn't mean I can't modify the missions if I like the idea enough. It's just, yeah.
Yeah, that was my thought.
Yeah, we definitely can't do the whole they designed the mission because otherwise we're gonna wind up with novels.
Oh yeah, no. I was thinking more, here's an outline of an idea for a mission.
Okay. Well, that's up to Rygon to choose to accept or not. What do you decide? What you've got in mind? I just know we had the self-insert card, and it was played once, and now we've removed it.
Ooh.
Because the person that redeemed it literally sent about a novel of what they wanted their self-insert to be, and it's like, this was intended to be, we basically just name an NPC after you. And the DM got really overwhelmed because they got this during the game and the person was wanting it done right away, and it's like, nope, we're just gonna not let anybody have it.
So I have them to thank for ruining it for me. Got it.
Viewer insert on the best of days takes a very agile hand as a DM. So, I don't blame you.
Well, especially when they were expecting it to be far more than what it actually was meant to be in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
And what I said on the card it would be.
I mean, something like that isn't necessarily a bad thing, but having it done right away is just simply unrealistic.
Yeah,
like, if you
exactly.
hand me all the parts for a car, and then you expect me to build it in a day, that just simply isn't going to happen.
Yeah, not unless you're giving me enough money to hire extra hands. Not happening.
Well, exactly. So having a well thought out character isn't bad. It just, you should have played that card, and then as a DM, like at least for me, I would have simply said, all right, this is a lot you're throwing at me right now. Contact me a little bit later. I'll contact you after this session is done, and then we can plan how to insert your character in a way that's friendly to the campaign while still fitting some of the details that you're presenting here.
Exactly, and sometimes, as Sim was saying, this viewer was very insistent on it being a right-away thing, and it just doesn't work that way when you hand us a book.
Yeah.
Yeah. I might bring it back, but it will just be a, well, you're gonna be named or an NPC will be named after you. That's it. Especially when it's self-insert, and they were giving us some other random character that they designed. It's like, no, this is you.
Even on that one, I actually would prefer the other character. Because when you do like self-inserts and then I have to like role play as you, people can get a bit antsy about that. It's much easier to kind of wave the hand if it's a different character.
That's fair.
But like for me, if I were to introduce a concept like this, I'd say, all right, we can construct an NPC together, but it's not going to be an original character of yours. This is going to be something that we are going to cooperatively do. And then I will add them to my list of NPCs, and eventually they will make an appearance.
Meanwhile, when I read that card, I'm like, if I get that card, I'll just tell them that they encounter a Dragonair named Panthea.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's...
Like, you could
My
also
thought-
do it that way.
My thought of what the card meant is, oh cool, there'll be a character in the game named after me at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Joke.
Yep.
Welcome back, Red Thunder.
Which I imagine was the original intent.
Yeah, that was the original intent on it. Was just, yep, we're naming it after you. I did find another pack of cards that I'm going to be drawing some inspiration from for the tabletop cards. Because they've got some interesting ideas that they did with their own kind of pack.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, half of my art is inspiration from 3 or 4 different other artists that I've cobbled together with my own style. It's just kind of how you make the world work.
You can absolutely draw inspiration from elsewhere and still make it your own.
Yep.
Like they say, there is no such thing as original art.
The end result is original. The techniques may not be.
Thank you, Sirio. Let me go ahead and get that. So how are you feeling, Rygon?
In terms
you
of
were-
what?
You were kind of a little burned out after 3 days of games.
A little bit better. I still don't really have a very coherent plan, though, that I want to proceed forward with. And some other projects are starting to kind of rear their heads up. Like, well, tomorrow I should at least get caught up with all my paperwork, hopefully. Because literally all my clients canceled, so it's like, well, alright, guess I'm going to spend the next 10 hours just doing notes and stuff.
Rygon, I have said I will book a 1-hour appointment to force you to take a break.
Okay.
Getting caught up on paperwork also can be very important to alleviating the stress levels.
Agree,
Yeah.
but I don't want him over stressing on it the entire day. I want him to at least take a 1-hour bio break.
Well, more than likely what's going to end up happening is I get a majority of the work done, and then I just go home. Early, because it's not like there's any other reason for me to stick around. I'm not going to go sit in my office chair for the next 4 hours just staring at a screen and pretending to do stuff.
Why not? I did that at work all the time.
Oh, sure. But that's one of the benefits of my position is I get paid on a salary, so I can just leave. If there's no work for me, no appointments, I'll just go.
I was an hourly position. If I finished off my workload for the day, it didn't matter how many hours I had left. I was staying there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah,
I certainly don't
the
blame you for that.
We had the option of VTO to just go home early without penalty. It's penalties, I lose money.
Mm-hmm.
I'll watch YouTube for 2.5 hours at my desk. I don't care. The company might. I don't.
I was gonna say.
I still love how when I was working security, they didn't have any options for us to just go home. But days that it was going to be completely dead, Christmas, they still have to have somebody there. But my boss literally was like, I'm not telling you can do this, but if it works out and you can stream from here, because he knew I was a streamer.
Does he watch your streams?
No.
Wow,
Probably.
rude.
Hello there, really.
That's something Tigers run into, though.
You've got a text message.
That's
Is
something what?
That's something Tiger's run into recently. His coworkers and bosses watching his streams.
Yeah, I've heard.
Yeah, I've got one coworker who's like, "Oh, what's your stream name?" And I'm like, "Fine, yeah, sure, I'll share it with you. Why not?" Because it's not like I go on my stream and I just like bitch about coworkers or talk sensitive details.
Oh wait, that is the really I know.
But yeah, going back a little bit earlier, yeah, a few other projects are starting to kind of rear their heads, and I think I need to start applying a lot more time and energy to doing them.
Oh?
Yeah, like writing the story commissions.
Hmm.
So what you're saying is, if we don't have Poker Roll Saturday, I blame Spirit.
Not
My
necessarily.
commission won't
I've
be
got
up for a few months. It's fine.
No, I have a commission list, and it's high time I actually start working on it.
I mean, Zim, I offered if you wanted to be a part of it. Because you were
I'd
feeling bad.
rather have my Poker Roll. I want to play Jet.
I did talk about a very stupid idea. I will poke it to you as well.
Stupid ideas often turn into the best ideas for roleplay. You know, like Wostein's tactical owl art.
I'd forgotten about that already.
Yeah, you've heard of Tacticool, now we go for Tactihoot. Yeah, lots of things are kind of rearing up, so I might end up not being able to stream as much. I might not be able to put as much energy towards Poker Roll as I'd like. So we'll see what happens.
I'm okay with you needing a break. I may give crap, but I understand that if you need to take Saturday off, it's gonna suck. I will not deny that, but I will understand.
Well, this would be more of an ongoing thing. Not necessarily like I canceled like the next 3 months of Poker Roll or something like that, but just like, hey guys, not as prepared as I'd like, but here we go.
I mean, if me commissioning you is going to affect your other work, now I just feel bad.
I mean, to be
No,
fair,
this has nothing to
you're
do with you.
paying him far more than what I paid. Considering there's a few sessions he's not been paid for because I didn't get any money either.
Hence why we did the tier change. Speaking of
Yeah.
which, it looks like that's been working out for you.
It has.
I told you I'd come up with something.
You definitely did, and it's definitely been working out. I'm really happy about it, because even $5 goes a long way.
I mean,
still want to read that thing on stream.
Which thing?
The thing I sent both of you.
let me take a look.
This was a while, maybe like 2 days ago.
Let's see.
Oh, and Rygon, let me know if for some reason those Christmas trees do not play nice with OBS or Streamlabs.
Honestly, I'm
We can
not
find
worried.
other ways.
I'm not too worried about the trees not playing nice. It's more of just like, where do I put it now? That's the best. Like, I could put it on main screen, but then it's taking up gameplay. I could leave it in the chatting room, but then people aren't going to see it.
Well, I was
On
thinking
your-
if you put it along the right-hand side of the gameplay screen, it would cover up a little bit of your overlay, but not your game.
Yeah.
Really, it's going well. How are you? It's good to hear from you again. Was not expecting you to pop up on my stream. But it's great to see you again.
I'll be experimenting with that a little bit. And Spirit, seriously, don't worry about your story and all this. This, like I said, it's got nothing to do with you.
I've been told not to worry, so naturally now I shall worry more. Got it.
Hashtag anxiety life.
If you were to commission, like, your story would probably be one that would literally just take me like 3 days to a week to get done.
Oh god, I'm taking up a week of yours. Now I feel worse. Also,
Oh.
Pan. Oh god, someone else knows my pain. That means I'm
Yes.
invalid.
God.
Because theirs is probably worse than mine. What am I talking about? Hi, welcome to anxiety.
Welcome to anxiety.
No, I got stories that are way bigger than yours coming. Like, I've got a novel
now
that
I just
gotta finish.
Now I just feel bad that I'm not commissioning enough of a story from you.
Anxiety kicked my ass earlier today too. I had a karaoke stream that was unlocked from my subathon, and people worked really hard to unlock that, and then nobody showed up.
Did you make sure to advertise it properly beforehand?
Oh yeah.
Like, we're doing it on this day, this time, all that stuff?
All of that stuff. The anxiety, to be honest, I think it's just timing. It was midweek during the day, and that's always a complicated endeavor. But I also wondered all day today, is the karaoke stream what they really wanted, or were they really hoping to unlock a different unlock?
Who knows?
I would
Okay.
say it's a combo of the midweek, midday stream, and the fact that now that we're in November, a lot of companies are ramping up for their Christmas operations.
Oh,
So-
yeah.
So, retail workers, especially right now, are prepping for 2 weeks and are working hours for that.
I know that intimately because that's what I do for myself.
Oh. Well, hello there, fellow retail worker. As I say to anyone who I find has worked Walmart like we've had, condolences to your sanity.
Target and Michaels.
Sears, the actual department store one, and Walmart.
Yeah. And then ran my own retail store for 4 years, and now retail my art. No, I get it. It's also why I downloaded the VOD, since I can't actually post the VOD.
I'm sorry to hear that, really. I hope you did manage to get it fixed and taken care of.
Yeah, that one's rough, really.
I will pretend I know what's going on.
Heart troubles.
You don't have the stream chat up?
I'm modding for someone else right now. That's why I didn't stream today.
Anyway, I downloaded the VOD since Twitch won't let me post it because of copyright stuff, and put it on a private YouTube video for my people in my Discord.
There we go.
Alright, some stuff to read out. Here in a moment. Sweet mercy, you're a marvel. I've just been asked if I'm free to do a Bell tail slide for the new Mint Spies Christmas movie. And I can, and it's all thanks to you. Alright. Please help me, I've done a terrible thing and now my beloved stunt plane is egg-bound. Okay, so that was weird. Just as I was getting the heck off Rushless, there was this huge flash of light. Thought I was a goner for sure, but no, the volcano just instantly calmed. She's starting to gurgle again now, but whatever. But whatever it was should hopefully buy us some time to get everyone out of Buckingham at least. Hello, nice to meet you for the very first time ever. I understand you'll be working at my private airport. I will be relying on you to show the utmost discretion. We have some of the most important and secretive people in the world coming in and out of here, so whatever it is that you see is not to be discussed with any other human. Is that clear? JJ 14. Oh, okay.
Well, we're all furries, so you're clear to talk to us, obviously.
Hello there, Zeet. Also, I owe a pack for Rob, but we'll get to that in a moment. To give you an example, only yesterday we had a private jet fly in. Who knows what was in the briefcases they were carrying, but I can tell you for nothing that it wasn't stationary. Now, if you went around telling that to any Tom, Dick, or Barry, we'd all be in it. Every day brings a new reason to keep your mouth shut. We've got a celeb couple flying out tonight. Only they're not a couple, if you get my meaning. You'd recognize them right away. They're from that hit new film Bill Shakespeare, about the poetic duck, you know? Also, at some point, this billionaire, probably the most secretive in the world, he's flying in. He's a business acquaintance of mine. He's probably the most interesting of the lot. He lives in a cave, like a superhero. Says he's accessorized the heck out of it, and that he's gonna take me there one day. Can't wait. Sweet mercy, you're a marvel. Oh, okay, I've already been over that part.
What happened to this guy saying you keep your mouth shut? He's spouting off faster than like a, like I don't know, like a fucking flamethrower in the middle of a hot dog contest.
It's the double standard. It's the double standard of like. It's the double standard of like my mom and her friends at the hair salon when I was a kid.
Your pack has been sent, Rob. Well, I'm glad you got it figured out, really. Clean the ancient monument. Thanks for coming. We've got a fresh discovery in urgent need of a hose down. We were scouting the area after the recent seismic activity and found this curious hand statue that's never been seen before. Completely unearthed. Well, it has been seen before. Someone made it, but you know what I mean. Unquestionably pre-Columbian, and could be the work of the same civilization as the statues. We won't know for sure until you've worked your magic on it. And thanks again for your help before. We're learning fresh stuff about all these people all the time. Alright, now we can get back to talking.
Oh no, you found my Twitter.
I found your Twitter?
Oh, Zim did.
Yes.
You have a Twitter?
Joke.
You
Yeah, I
retweeted
mostly just use it.
one of my pieces.
It says you found me. Yeah, I use it mostly just to like follow artists and retweet artwork. And occasionally like shout out that, hey, I'm streaming.
Yeah, I finally broke down and actually made a streaming profile on Twitter.
Just in time for them to make it completely paid for.
Yeah, do not get me started on that one. You will not get me to shut up about it. Zim, you've seen me salty.
Oh, I have.
Wait, when you're salty, you can just go on and on about the saltiness?
Oh, yes.
I really am talking with myself.
My poor father-in-law recently got to see me absolutely livid for the first time, and he was terrified.
Oh god,
On to
this is
details.
gonna take forever.
He got targeted by the gift card scammers.
Oh no.
And I was not mad at him. But he got to see me go full Karen on the scammers on the phone.
Did they actually get money out of him, or?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I had one of the Apple scammers call a while back. And it was my day off. I didn't have anything going on, so I decided, you know, what the hell? I'll have some fun with this. answered the phone, went downstairs in front of my old Apple IIgs, which takes floppy disks, and well, my son's not here right now. He helped me with the computer. Well, he normally helps me with the computer, but I guess what disk is that cloud thingy on?
Yeah. Yeah. How long did it take him to figure out you were talking about an Apple II?
Poor guy had me on the phone for 45 minutes.
Gonna waste
45
my
minutes,
time,
he
I'm
wasn't-
gonna waste yours.
Yeah,
Oh,
45
no,
minutes, he wasn't hurting somebody else.
Exactly. And it
Exactly.
did have a pretty good ending to it.
Okay.
These scammers really don't know how to put anyone on hold that well.
No.
Oh,
No,
no,
they
they don't.
That's
They
why
thought-
they're there.
Well, he tried to put me on hold to transfer me, and he did successfully transfer me. He called Apple support. I heard him going through the prompts and just button mashing. And then he
I-
dumped me off on Apple support.
I know there's a
Oh,
channel.
I'm sure you and
on-
the guy at Apple Support had a good laugh about it.
I was invested at this point, so I just kept going with it.
Oh, that's some troll behavior.
Like the best hour-ish of my life, because it took Apple like a good 20 minutes to figure out what I was talking about.
I worked Apple. I worked at the Apple Store one year, and yeah, a lot of the people who worked there had absolutely no clue about the 2E, and I'm sitting here going, my first thing I programmed was on an Apple IIe in Apple Basic, and the second thing I programmed was in HyperCard.
I still use the Apple IIgs to write my Christmas letters on.
You know, it was really good for that.
The little dot matrix feed printer works perfect for just printing a whorish amount of Christmas letters and being done with it. And it hardly uses any of the ribbon.
Oh, and not to mention ASCII art is best.
Right? But the best part of the whole interaction, other than the scammer transferring me to legitimate Apple, was the 20 minutes it took for Apple to figure out what the heck I was talking about. The poor guy, put me on hold and then came back after like 5 minutes and just sounding done
Defeated.
with no, not defeated, just so done. Said, "Okay, sir, we've taken care of the issue with your password. Have a great day." Well, I just started to try to go on with it and just click. It's my immediate thought was, okay, either he's giving up trying to talk to this old idiot who doesn't know shit about his computer, or he put me on hold, found someone who understood what I was talking about, this wise old sage of Apple support, who said, "What the hell? We don't even support those anymore. Just get them off the phone."
Actually, what probably ended up happening is one of the old grognards at Tier 3 said, "Dude, he's actually honestly asking you about support about this? Yeah. Dude, you're being trolled. Dude, you're totally being trolled."
Well, I was still in the old guy antics, so.
Yeah, but to be honest, most old guys don't even use them anymore. It's just those of us who grew up with them that still use them.
I could see that. To be fair, my dad uses a Chromebook now and gets pissed at it consistently.
Yeah, my
Isn't
dad.
that supposed to be super easy to use?
We got that for him to replace his 2GS so I could take it. Because it was supposed to be easier to use for his 2 things he does. Check his email and do paperwork. And somehow he's managed to have a harder time with that than anything.
To be honest, the Chromebooks have so much freaking bloatware that they run slower than the 2GS.
Well, yeah, all the bloatware on the 2GS is on the floppy disks.
You have to purposefully boot that.
Back when bloatware was optional boot. Literally.
Literally.
I still have my Oregon
So-
Trail discs and everything.
What I was trying to say before, there's a channel on YouTube where they actually hack into the those scammers' call centers, and they patch their way into their phone lines, as well as even hacking their webcams and all this other stuff. My favorite thing is that they use AnyDesk. A lot of the scammers do. They're like, yes, we're here to help you with tech support. And they hack their way, or they put they go through AnyDesk to get access to your computer. And the guy just sits there and deletes all of the files off of their PC.
Yeah, I've seen those back-hacking videos, and they... Serious justice chub.
I've
Oh,
seen
yeah.
a couple videos on YouTube where they do similar, but then once they're patched into the phones, they call pretending to be support. And then it's like, hey, we've noticed this issue with your computer. They see issue with computer, and most of the scammers don't understand that they're being scammed, because how should that be possible? So they go along with it. And they end up charging them money.
Yeah. Well, and this particular group was particularly... they were a little more sophisticated than most in how they approached things, but they just take advantage of the fact that they assume a lot of elderly people don't know that you can't pay McAfee for antivirus support with the Nike gift cards.
I mean, to be fair to the poor iCloud scammer, I don't think he ever got past asking what disk was the cloud thingy on with me. Then Apple was asking about the serial number, and it's on the bottom of the computer, and it's like, well, the monitor's it's rather heavy, and my son was the one who helped me set this up. He's strong, but he's at work right now.
Yeah. Well, and I had an original Macintosh. And you have the serial number off of those. You have to take the case off. It's actually on the inside of the case. Oh, it was cast in the metal.
I think it's probably in a similar position on the 2GS.
Yeah.
I know it's on the box, and I have the box somewhere. Because the box has all the foam in it.
The laugh is that also inside that case are the signatures of all the designers.
I never knew about that. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So how are you,
Okay.
Rygon? What you up to?
I'm just lying in bed, just listening.
Fair enough.
Rygon is the sleepy V.
Well, just more. There's just nothing I can really say in this particular conversation. I don't really know old computers.
I don't either, so I'm kind of just sitting here as well.
Would you like
Sorry,
me to give
guys.
you a typewriter?
No.
I
use
meant for
mechanical
Rygon.
keyboard.
I like mechanical keyboards just because it's noisier.
Well, yeah, it's you get more sensation out of them. I've worked with mechanical and non-mechanical, and just frankly, like the non-mechanical, like I don't even feel like I'm typing. I don't feel any, like.
There's no feedback.
Yeah, exactly. That's it.
I use a non-mechanical one for my streams for my gaming laptop. Simply because while I really love the clicky clack, it's not so good for a stream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I was working at United Health, one of my coworkers complained that on the basic little everyone gets one Dell keyboard, I was typing too loud. United Health allowed us to bring in our own equipment so long as the IT center in our building approved that it wasn't malicious. So I bought a mechanical keyboard. They had it for a week, came back to me and said, yeah, you can use this. And I switched over to that.
I'm actually on that Dell keyboard you're talking about.
Well, yeah, because it's not even manufactured except for bulk orders anymore.
And they are absolutely everywhere.
And they're nigh impossible to kill, and if you do somehow kill one, companies have about 1 billion of them in a Ark of the Covenant style warehouse somewhere.
Yeah.
One warehouse per company, obviously.
Well, and locally they show up at a local secondhand shop all the time, so I know if I kill one, it's going to be really easy to replace it.
Well, yeah, because like 48 trillion of them were made in 1 year alone.
Yeah. And it's a comfortable keyboard.
Yeah, it is. I never had that coworker complain about my typing anymore. They made one comment after I switched to mechanical, and I just told them, well, I got a keyboard that was more comfortable after you said I was typing too loud. I figured this way you don't hear me typing the keys as hard because the keyboard does the work, not me.
Yeah.
And they just left it at that, worried that I would get a louder keyboard still.
I know the keyboard I use on my desktop. Kerr wants to steal it. He loves the clicky clack.
Oh, I love the clicky clack. When I'm in stream, with anyone, I have to be careful when I'm typing because it picks up way too easy.
I have had to very fine-tune my noise gates and noise cancellation to drown it out, and it still doesn't always work.
I feel like I could do an ASMR stream where I just smash my keyboard for like 3-4 hours.
So Zim, I am 1 tarot card and 1 bone away from completing my collection in Phasma.
Nice. Which card you missing?
The one you can't get on Friendly Ghost, which is the Hanged Man.
Ah.
It just becomes the Fool.
Taking so long.
It is a very large map. I watched either Kitsu or Rygon do it the other day, and it's...
This is really small, but there's an achievement for cleaning the whole thing with only the white nozzle.
Ooh!
Which
Yeah,
is
that would take
the
time.
weakest powered one of them all. And I'm having to run through everything about 15 freaking times.
I
Yeah, but you
believe
want
it.
that achievement.
What is still dirt? Oh, that tiny spot? Is that what's... Okay, what is still dirty on you?
No Final Fantasy. I do not need yet another class.
Are you on Aether by chance?
I am.
Genova?
You better believe it.
Holy fuck! I found one finally.
Yep. I'm over in. I'm actually over in Nocturnal Legacy as my free company.
Oh, nice. Yeah, my free company disbanded in 2016 after our 2 leaders got married in real life and then had a baby.
Yeah, apparently, before I joined a year or so, Nocturnal had a huge, blow up in management, and the people who actually were on the boots on the ground had to stage a coup against some really intense leadership that didn't understand the first rule of online gaming. Real life comes first.
Yeah, for us, the free company I joined with my then boyfriend blew up nuclear style because
Been there.
the 2 leaders had a kid in real life, and they at least followed the real life comes first, except they took the whole guild down.
Yeah, you usually find someone to hand it off to in those situations.
Nope, our 113 some... I think it was 113 or 115. Anyway, our 100 plus guild just was like one day log in. We're not free company? Where's our plot? Question mark? Oh, the person
Yeah.
deleted their account. The fuck?
Yeah.
Message on TeamSpeak. Oh yeah, sorry, we had a kid like a couple weeks ago and I'm just like focusing on that. It's like, say something?
Say something, turn it over to somebody. Oh no,
I was a guild
don't
master
mess with...
I was a guild master in WoW for 10, 13 years. Before after Blizzard showed some true colors, I kind of bailed. And no, you hand stuff off. That's common courtesy.
Yeah, they didn't think about that. So basically our free company disbanded and moved to different servers that they were interested in, but didn't because we had the free company.
Yeah,
and then
fair enough.
I kept playing for a couple months, then my partner and I broke up and went our separate ways, so I quit playing, and I only recently logged back into Final Fantasy XIV like a week
Can we
ago.
move on from FF14 before I get into things that I don't want to discuss with it?
Yeah, we can do that. I can just...
Pivot. Anyway.
Looks like they're evacuating Muckingham.
Mm-hmm.
That's the city we're in.
Got it.
I don't know why I'm still here, just outside of town, washing all this if people are evacuating, but...
Because you're Mr. PowerWash, the city superhero. They expect you to fight the lava flows with your power washer, but only the white nozzle because you want that achievement.
I suppose so. I guess it does. I guess since I do have unlimited water, I can probably, and I got the extra long nozzles, so there's that too. Have you fallen asleep yet, Rygon?
No, I'm still here.
Go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, little Vappy.
Well, Rygon, as always, I do want to remind you before you sleep that you are incredible, and we all appreciate your efforts a lot.
I'm glad.
And I apparently
not
killed him
honest.
with that.
No, I'm just turning over. Browsing Twitter.
Before it
But-
implodes entirely.
It already did that today. Twice.
Yeah, more or less. I'm just trying to find all the nice little art I can before inevitably people move on to elsewhere or something.
I think the highlight of today
Sleep well,
was...
Chris.
Night, Chris. I think the highlight of Twitter's new feature was an emergency management organization for a whole state having to go out and say, no, this isn't a threat. This is a fake account, not us.
Wait, what?
The Washington State Emergency Management Twitter account got impersonated by a account that bought the blue check mark and said St. Helens was erupting, evacuate X many miles.
Ah, that's why you don't do the purchase for the blue check mark.
Yeah.
Ugh.
They've already suspended how many fake political figure and other accounts
I'm
just
sorry,
today
Chris.
alone. It's imploded a couple times today alone.
That's why I haven't logged in for like a week.
Even today, Nintendo was given a fake account that was not making actual Nintendo happy with Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, Twitter is in a real shit show right now.
All we need is for the board of directors to kick the owner out as CEO.
And it's a little hard to do when you kick all the board of directors out and replace them with cronies.
Yeah, unfortunately, he does own. Like,
I'm not saying
Twitter-
it's impossible, it's just very improbable.
Twitter has been a shit show for years.
That's
It really has. I
Twi-
had a tiny shred of hope that maybe it'll be slightly better under new management.
I had
Clearly
cautious
that was not the
optimism.
case.
Oh, I didn't fucking have any of that optimism. I knew it was gonna be bad.
No, my
Like I got a journal post from like several months ago stating as much.
My cautious optimism was very equivocally putting a bar, duct taping it to the floor in a recessed groove to where the top of it was flush with the floor, and then still groaning audibly when they managed to yet trip over it.
mm-hmm.
I was just it was more, for me, it was more of a, he can't possibly do any worse.
And I'm impressed that he has.
Yeah.
All the wrong ways.
Well, that's what happens when you buy something for $66 billion and you have no plan on what to do with it.
I just... Twitter's been a shit show forever. I was waiting for it to implode. He's just basically fast laning it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was doing it on purpose to tank it, if he already had something to replace it, but he doesn't. I think it's just incompetence.
It's incompetence. It's incompetence extreme because remember, to purchase Twitter, he had to put all of Tesla at stake. So when Twitter implodes, it takes Tesla with it.
Yeah.
Which means we're going to lose basically any hope of progressing battery technology to much smaller states for much larger capacity.
Well, maybe not necessarily. Like, Tesla may have started that whole thing, but I'm pretty sure the companies have kind of taken up the flag on that.
Tesla's young enough to where their technology is still proprietary and protected under patent. That's the problem.
Yes, but that doesn't mean others can't come up with even better technology.
And
no, it doesn't, but they have to be cautious on how they do it, lest they risk lawsuits.
Well, fair, but if Tesla doesn't exist, does it matter?
Because Elon would likely still hold the rights to the patents.
Yeah. Just because the company's gone, they're filed in his name, not in the company's name.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So he could still sue to try to make money back and do other stupid things with it.
Well, he might.
If only he would have bought and tanked Facebook.
Wouldn't that be nice?
I mean, Facebook's doing that job on its own. Have you seen the nonsense going on with Metaverse?
Yeah, but just imagine the collaboration between Musk and Mr. Roboto. I mean, Tomohiro Arigato. I mean, Zuckerberg. Just imagine how fast they could tank Facebook together.
I mean, you're not wrong.
They could speedrun the fastest downfall of a company in history.
Right now, we are facing a really interesting situation for the modern era, where both the two biggest actual social media platforms are about to just tank themselves and go under.
It's so hilarious because the grave Tumblr dug itself with its policy changes back in 2018. These two major companies tanking themselves have literally dug Tumblr out of the grave it dug itself, allowing for them to publicly say, hey, we're reversing some of these policies, and gain droves of new users or return users.
Well, to be fair, Tumblr as a platform,
it's not a proper social media, no.
No, it wasn't as proper social media, but it was a pretty decent platform that would get the engagement that people wanted that people enjoy from Twitter, while being easier to use than like FA or even DeviantArt. So like artists especially, I can see them returning to it because a lot of them before Tumblr imploded itself, a lot of artists were using Tumblr.
Exactly.
It was only after that, after they imploded, that I saw the big rise for Twitter being used.
I think... Oh, Serio, thank you. Stream Pirates is done.
Thank you, Serio.
I just find it personally amazing that two companies fumbling in the most spectacular of manners after being part of the reason for the downfall of company number 3 are the very reason company number 3 is taking back off like a rocket. Pun intended.
The funny thing is that this is not a new phenomenon. It's not unprecedented either. I lived through the .com bubble burst, and my dad actually spoke to Congress about it to warn them about it. And this is just another version of what happened with Alta Vista and Yahoo and AOL and all of the other there was a huge glut in the early to mid 90s of companies that were providing, I mean, heck, even Google GeoCities were providing free web hosting, and as a result, there was tons of people pushing for this, essentially trying to build what we have today for e-commerce. But long before the security measures and the safety protocols were in place to properly facilitate it. And what ended up happening is much like what we're seeing with Facebook and Twitter and social media. So while this is a .com bubble burst, this is a social media bubble burst that's acting almost identical.
Well, the saying goes, history doth doomed to repeat what is not learned from.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure I misquoted it because it's been misquoted so many times over the ages and changed, but the premise is the same.
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say Facebook's fall is equivalent to that. Because Facebook, I mean, they're trying to get into new technologies. And they are, you know, first and foremost, a tech company. So, you know, them getting in, or them trying for the metaverse, that's not exactly something that is exactly equivalent. They definitely should not have tried. They should have done better research, and they should have done they could have done a much better job.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for example, nobody had legs until recently, and even that was a hoax. Like, they announced it when, oh yeah, we've got legs, and oh, this was actually pre-rendered and not actually real.
Yeah.
But like, a lot of people are trying to get this whole metaverse thing going, and they always forget the important thing. What do you do? The only company that I have known that was, well, actually, there have been a couple. I will say that, actually. Like Minecraft. Well, Minecraft is a little bit more vague of a answer there, because it does have stuff to do, even if it's still your own decision on what you do. But Second Life is an example, but their early days, they still made their own stuff to go with it for what people could do.
And hey, I'm still an admin on a Second Life server that somehow is still around.
Second Life's still around. The problem was a lot of the role players that wanted to use it abandoned it because it literally became nothing but spicy content.
Yeah.
My world is still like those kind of.
I do know some that embrace that, and some that don't. Or at least years ago I did. I haven't touched or Second Life in years, but and they like, that's okay for it to be a thing. The biggest problem that I think Second Life faces is honestly their monetization for land. I feel it's way outrageous.
Well, their economy has inflated to the point where it has become completely unattainable for anyone who is not independently wealthy or at least upper tier middle class.
Yeah.
Or mod.
Or mod.
Why are we talking about real life?
Huh?
I mean, there's really not much difference.
Yeah. For me, I look at their servers and stuff, and I'm like, you want me to pay you $1,000 plus a month for a spot on one of your servers, when I could literally go rent an entire server to myself, and for $20, or well, no, not $20, but like $30-$40 a month. Like the server that I rent for our that we run some ARC servers on, as well as we've got we use it for our tabletop games for the Fantasy Ground server. That thing's $40 a month. That's it.
Yeah, and I have a web server that I can run pretty much anything on the background of that I only pay $200 a year for.
But yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. They Second Life needs to revamp their entire system. Their code base is so outdated. Hey there, Emerald.
Their rendering system is out of date too. They need better graphics.
Well, they can't afford that, clearly, because no one can afford to pay them for other stuff. That wonderful double-edged sword.
I mean, I will say there are a lot of people that pay them, and as far as I'm aware, they are doing just fine financially.
Oh, I know, that's the whole joke.
Oh.
Every time world owners keep asking about stuff, we get told that we would need more active user base to support that financially and yada yada. It's like, but you're how old of a company and you still have enough active user base to support running the entire company? You have money, just allocate it better.
Yeah, you can rent a real apartment for the money they charge for a server, yeah.
It's true.
Oh no, it's not quite anymore. Nowadays,
depends on the area.
True. I'll give you that. Other areas of the country are less expensive than others. The number of plots go comparable to purchasing, like, condos now.
Yeah, around where I live, a one-bedroom apartment is around $14.50 a month.
Yeah, a studio apartment in the nearest decent-sized city is, I want to say, $1,800 a month, and that's for like 700 square feet. And all I can think to myself is, but how?
By renting with a bunch of other people.
Yeah, when I worked at Delta, we had like 8 of us in one apartment. And it was only 2-bedroom.
Yeah.
To be fair, we were all crew, so it worked out really well with us basically hot bunking between each other. Some of us would leave as others would come back.
Ah. Well, that's fair. Mainly just a place to rest your head and in between.
It was quite literally just a crash pad. It was a place where we could have our legal residence shown within our allotted distance from the airport for reporting time requirements. Because Ready Reserve, you're not guaranteed hours or pay unless we call you. But even then, you're not guaranteed hours or pay if you show up. We could just move you from ready reserve to active reserve, which means get your ass in uniform into the airport. We'll tell you if we need you later. Ready reserve. You're at home. We may need you. Keep your phone on. Be ready to leave within an hour.
That would be a very stressful job to have.
I remember around the holidays, it's like, hey, you're on ready reserve. Cool. Sit around at home, have a bag packed in case. Hey, we're switching you to active reserve. You've got an hour to get to the airport and report in. Cool. Get to the airport, sit around for like 4 hours. We're switching you back to ready reserve. Cool. Gonna take the train back home. Get back there, it's
Halfway
like
home.
no, literally. Hey, we've got a crew that's timed out. We need you to come back in like you're due out in 45 minutes. It's like fucking great. Thanks.
Oh, sorry, my phone ran out of battery.
You're fine. Rygon, go to sleep.
All good.
I
No,
think
I'm
he's
talking
making
about
a
your
joke.
phone.
Oh.
Yeah.
They didn't care if your phone ran out of battery. If screw support, I mean crew scheduling, called you, no, it was very much screw support. Called you. They didn't care. Voicemail or not, you get there. Or it's
Sounds
an
like
occurrence.
Yeah, it sounds like a them problem.
No, because points affect your line eligibility.
That is one thing that drives me nuts with all these companies is how do they get away with this shit?
You want to know something of why every flight crew member is salty as fuck and wants you to get your ass on the fucking plane and sit the freak down as fast as possible? Sorry, I almost went into flight attendant anger. We don't get paid until the door is closed, and we only get paid until it's opened.
Oh.
Flight attendants are paid door closed to door open only. So the 45-minute boarding process held up for an extra 30 by the one guy who ensures to everyone who asks that his bag will fit, despite being 3 times larger than his own seat. You want to murder those people. Actually, the joke is if all of our passengers were dead, it would still be a quicker boarding process. Oh, I'm not joking. The honor flights, where we're actually carrying fallen service members, pilots and flight attendants will outright say to themselves, best passenger.
Yeah, I'll believe it.
No complaints, they didn't get up when they were supposed to, they didn't rush for the door the moment we hit the runway. They didn't spend 10 minutes trying to stow an overhead bag that clearly the airport should have made them check. Why did TSA allow a microwave through the checkpoint? What the hell? I don't know, it was Denver.
Yeah, that's all you gotta say.
No, you'd think something like that would be Florida. Florida was an alligator.
No, Denver's notorious. I have friends who work as ordinary flight attendants, and they just nope. They're like, you want me to go through Denver? Screw you.
Yeah, Sirio.
Atlanta's pretty bad. I worked Delta Mainline.
Yeah.
You go through Atlanta and then get told, okay, well, this was the flight we had for you. If we don't need you, you can just head home. And it's like, I'm in Atlanta, where every employee has like 40 plus years of seniority, I ain't heading back home unless you give me crew space. Or it's 1 in the morning and everyone else is asleep. Non-revving out of Atlanta was a pain in the butt for Delta.
I can believe it. I've flown in and out of Atlanta, and as a passenger, it was a nightmare. I can only imagine what it's like for staff.
I can still recite the plane train by memory. It haunts my dreams.
The what?
The
They have
Atlanta
a-
plane train automated announcement. It haunts my dreams and I can still recite it.
Ah.
Actually, I
They
can
have
still
a
give our-
small light rail that runs underground at the
Between
Atlanta
terminal.
airport to get you from terminal to terminal.
Oh. That's better than the Salt Lake City airport.
buses! Woo!
The new one's
No.
actually better.
The new one, at least as of 2020, it was walking like 5 miles from where I landed, where my gate was, to the baggage claim.
Oh, they barely opened up the brand new terminal last year.
Have they replaced the frickin' airside buses yet?
Yes.
Well, thank Christ. There's nothing crew hates more than airside buses.
What
Because
are
in theory, we're all told not to ride the airside buses with passengers because it's a security risk. For flight crew, we tried to not give a crap because we need to get places.
and what are these things?
It's for remote stand parking that Salt Lake City was notorious for, meaning there is no physical connection between the terminal and where the plane is parked. Salt Lake City had like 20 plus pads that were all accessible from the terminal via bus only.
Yeah,
Where the
that's
bus would-
not a thing anymore.
The bus would literally drive you out through the active portions of the airport to remote parking stands for actual jets. It was the most miserable thing anyone there had to deal with.
That
I'm
hasn't
very
been a
glad to
thing.
hear they're gone.
That hasn't been a thing here for quite some time.
You have no idea how immensely over enthused I am at hearing that.
Yeah, that has not been an issue for a very long time.
Well, that was still a thing up through 2020 when I was working.
They were only doing those temporarily while they were working on the new new
So they
terminal.
brought them back for a short time.
Yes.
Okay. I luckily hardly had to go through Salt Lake.
No, when I flew out as a young adult, I used to fly out to Atlanta from time to time to visit family. I never had to take a bus to the plane. I knew what they were because I had friends that worked at the airport, and I knew that they'd been out of service for a long time. So if they were back in service, that would have been because they were working on the brand new terminal.
Okay. Yeah, I was lucky I only had to go to Salt Lake like every few months.
Yeah, the new terminal is so nice.
I mean,
You have
the
no
one
idea.
I'm pretty sure I went through the new terminal. You
They
say it
still have
only
a lot of
opened.
They still had a lot of traffic that was coming in the new terminal routed the long way around rather than the shorter ways. because they only finally finished construction and opened the whole thing last year.
Ah.
I don't know if you ever met my friend Crystal. She actually works transportation at the airport. Her job is getting people into cabs and limos and crap like that.
How long has she
So-
been there?
Probably 4 or 5 years, since well before the pandemic. So you might have met her.
I might have met her in my dazed and confused state looking for a hotel shuttle with a few colleagues.
Yeah, she 5'4" white girl with hair that looks like she's never brushed it in her life because it just frizzes no matter what she does.
Redhead?
Brunette.
Okay, I know someone at Salt Lake who's a redhead who, like, puts Miss Frizzle's frizz to shame. And she's, I want to say about 5'6", I think. Like, pale, like,
Ginger.
white.
Full on ginger.
Oh no, not full-on ginger, just... She's not ginger pale, but she's
Okay.
pretty pale. She's like sickly pale.
Yeah. Yeah,
Trying to
Crystal
remember
falls
what her
into
name is.
that category too.
Sickly pale?
That sickly pale.
I might have met
because
her
she
then.
doesn't take care of herself. I love her to death, but I always want to kick her ass for not taking care of herself. But yeah, she was keeping us up to date all the time when they were opening the new terminals and getting everything done because she was just really excited about it. It made life easier for her at work.
I was excited when my home airport MSP did their remodel. And I saw the bathrooms and I'm like, oh my god, these are so fucking beautiful. And then I saw the rest of everything and I went, oh, you did yourself up a bit. I don't like it.
Have a good night, everyone.
Night, Rygon.
Good
Well,
night, Rygon.
Rygon, thanks so much for coming by. Oh, I got the achievement. Good.
Yay!
Oh, no laser beam out of this one? Wait. Were there things going on in the background? Are those cats?
Meow.
I think there was a herd of cats going away from there.
From the town?
Yeah. Alright, so... Wishy, we found something else amazing in the desert. Ready for another historic moment? Strange how that index finger is pointing in that specific spot, don't you think? Nothing in that direction for miles until you hit the coast, in fact. I mean, the marina is there, but it wasn't back in those days. I suppose it could be pointing to the stars. Andromeda would have been at that exact spot around 8,000 years ago. Maybe that's it. I've been in contact with the fire chief. Evacuations are taking place for everyone in Muckingham. Flo's fire helicopter is being called in to see if anything can be done to calm Mount Rushless. Be sure to keep your distance. I've only just realized that there are six fingers. What else have we missed? Hi Doc, it's Leonard, Cal's dad. The volcano is about to blow sky high, and all that cleaning you did for our bungalow will be for nothing. The car is still looking good though, and safely packed away in the garage. Thanks, Leonard. Fantastic job, Wishy. The sacred geometry, the 6 fingers, so much to get our teeth stuck into. So exciting, and so amazing to finally see these relics as they would have been seen at the time. You're a star. I am never doing that again.
The hand.
At least you don't have to.
No, I'll do the hand again, but never The white nozzle again.
Oh.
Yeah.
I swear the world is getting weirder by the day. Last night I was out on my boat when I caught whiff of this glorious smell. Imagine if you took just the juiciest little shrimp and enhanced all the bits of that flavor that you loved and removed all the bits you hated. Then added a little pinch of parsley. That was this smell. Naturally, I followed it and hadn't gone more than half a nautical mile due west when this huge wave came out of nowhere, scooped me up and beached me on the foreshore like a curious beluga. It's gonna need a good hosing before I hit those waves again. I gotta go fix my audio. There we go. Chris, I thought you were going to bed. Did I lose you too?
No, I'm here. I just muted my mic because I got a coughing fit.
Ah, was that funny, huh?
I've been dealing with them all day.
Complete the fishing boat bow steps and main deck first. Okay. So there's the, okay, bow, steps, main deck. I cannot complete anything else first. Oh, my yellow muzzle. How I have missed you.
I think I could still recite most of my pre-flight announcement, sadly.
Well, when you memorize something like that, it sticks with you. I memorized Kate's final monologue from Taming of the Shrew in high school, and I still can recite most of it without having to look at the book.
I'm tempted to see how much of it I remember, but I don't want to take that much detraction away from some stream.
Yeah.
Go for it. Chris, I appreciate your support and hanging out here, but I'd rather you be taking care of yourself.
Chris, Self-Care Kitty says take care of yourself. Go get sleep.
Do as I say, not as I do.
Yes.
Words to live by. Oh, let's see. It's morning for most of us, I think.
It is 3 a.m. here.
3:43 here.
It's evening.
Yeah, but you're scheduled backwards of the rest of the world.
So
I
is mine.
operate on ZST. Is there a problem with that?
Not at all.
It's CST, thus it's morning, Zim.
No, Z.
Oh. I totally misheard that the first
Zim
time.
Standard
CST.
Time.
Oh yeah, so everything's evening.
No, it's evening now because I'll still be up for a few more hours before I finally go to bed. It's roughly 9 p.m., maybe 10 ZST.
Noted. Well, for everyone else... Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Delta Airlines, it's my pleasure to welcome you aboard Delta Flight 2452, a service to Atlanta, and continuing service to Cincinnati. Federal regulations require that carry-on items are stowed prior to closing the aircraft door. You may place items in an overhead compartment or completely under the seat in front of you. Use caution when placing items or removing them from the overhead compartment, and let us know if we may assist you. In order to expedite the boarding process, please be seated as quickly as possible after stowing your carry-on items, and take a moment to review the safety instruction card in your seat back pocket. Passengers seated in rows... what aircraft type did I work on the most? 57. Passengers seated in exit rows 26 or 27. Please take a moment to review the exit instructions for the seating requirements. If you are seated in an exit row, you may be required to assist the crew in an evacuation. If you are unwilling or unable to perform this task, please seat a member of the crew and we will reseat you as available.
I was the weirdo that always went up to the crew and said, "If you guys need to swap somebody's seats, I'm willing to swap with them."
I'm the weirdo who, on most flights, will go straight to the last row of the aircraft and sit there. Because, well, this is on Southwest I do this. Because, one, I'm right next to the galley, so I'm first in line for beverage service. Two, if you sit in the aisle seat of the last row, which does not recline, most people are not going to want to scooch in next to you for the window, which already doesn't recline. So like a good 8 times out of 10, you get the whole row of 3 to yourself.
That's kind of nice.
Also, it lets you talk shop.
For me, flying is an absolute nightmare. Not only do I need to get a seatbelt extension because I'm fat as fuck, but I am also tall as hell. And those seats are not made for somebody that is even average height. I think I killed the chat.
I mean, we could just put you in first class.
I flew first class once. It was really nice. Granted, it wasn't as nice as... okay, so technically I flew first class a couple of times. One time was when I was an unaccompanied minor and they overbooked the flight and they tried to... They were trying to get people to go to other flights and stuff. And, well, they couldn't exactly do that with my brother and I because, well, we don't exactly have money or anything.
Unaccompanied minor reaccommodation policy is even exchange, no money required. What the hell was that airline doing?
I don't know, but I was certainly not complaining about being moved up to first class.
It's just a shame as a minor you couldn't get the free champagne or booze of choice during takeoff.
Well, I still don't care about that.
Yeah, but with the free champagne or booze of choice, it includes the non-alcoholic mixers, which normally you pay for.
Hello there, Crinix.
So you can just get a whole bottle of mixer and be like, that.
I know flying from Utah to Nebraska for a visit, I went ahead and I was like, whoa, first class is only a couple of dollars more? Why the hell not? Well, it was like $50 more.
But not much compared to the rest of the flight.
Yeah. And turns out that it was actually just a, it was the standard seat, not like the one I had as a kid and was expecting. You know, the full leather and everything. But it was one of those more jumper planes instead of a full...
Oh, it was the connection carrier?
Yeah.
First class was the bulkhead row then.
It was
Quote,
still
unquote,
nice.
First class.
it was still really nice to have leg room. Because I know when my mom and I flew to Ohio when my brother overdosed, it did not go over. I did not get to enjoy any leg room. And the passenger sitting next to me threw a huge fit because I cannot fit my knees physically in front of me. I'm sorry. You're gonna have to deal with them spreading. I would have loved to not, be taking up both seats on either side.
That's where you get an exit row where there's no seat in front of you.
My mom didn't do that. She's the one that booked the seats.
Oh.
Yeah. To be fair, it was, free flight, but at least for me. Critics, I'm doing all right. And yourself? And yes, I'm all for hugs.
Holy fuck.
What?
I just looked up the flight number. I touted off to see if it was still an active flight number. It is, and it's still a Minneapolis to Atlanta flight. Even after, like, a few years. And all the pandemic reshuffling. I'm impressed. Sad that I'll probably die remembering my in-flight announcement, but impressed.
It's fine. Pants, did you die on us?
No, sorry. I'm comparing some gear.
Gear?
While we're chatting, I'm playing an MMO and I'm shopping for upgrades.
Oh, are you
Instead
playing a
of
good
giving-
MMO?
I'm playing an MMO I enjoy, and that's what matters.
Ah, so you're playing the bad one. Got it.
If there are a lot of good or bad MMOs, and my point of view is that the only thing that matters is whether or not you enjoy it, and I do.
Except when you can't afford the subscription fee, and then you're not allowed to enjoy it.
Yeah, well, I have backups for that.
Like Guild Tales, or Guild Wars, a good MMO.
Guild Wars. Heck, I can play up to level 20 for free on World of Warcraft.
Zim, you said the thing, so I have to. Guild Tales. Whoa.
Okay.
I'm sorry, it just makes me consistently think of the DuckTales theme.
Ah. You know, I have never thought that. And now I will never forget it. Fuck you.
I said this like months ago to you.
No,
And
you
clearly
did not.
I've done the woo at one point or another with you, and you asked what was that.
Nope. Fake news. trying to make sure that I am only cleaning what I have to for this achievement is annoying.
I'll believe it.
God damn it. I didn't get enough. Yes, Deafened. Guild Tales, one of our tabletop games. Not quite as infamous as our newest tabletop game to join the group, but still a lot of fun.
Okay, Zim, now you get my attention to stream chat.
Oh, yay. I'm glad I have been deemed worth it.
I'm sorry, I'm a mod. I have a job to do for my other channel. Oh my god, that's New Year's new icon. That's very cute.
Yes, Mary did it.
I remember that from yesterday. I just hadn't seen it yet.
There we go.
Finally, they have an icon.
Yeah? How long have they been streaming?
Way too long.
To not have an icon anyways.
Too long. Hi, Defiant. Or Defint. But that's a 1, not an I. However you pronounce it.
You know, that's a good question. How do you pronounce that? Maybe you told me at one point. I don't remember. So is New Year's streaming right now?
Yeah, I just saw the notification with an icon for once.
Woo!
They finally uploaded it!
Yeah, I was starting to wonder if maybe I wasted Mary's time having her draw that, because it's like, you gotta use it?
It's like, I showed you your icon, please respond.
Yeah. Okay. This game is so relaxing.
Until the volcano explodes and you have to redo all the levels.
I'm okay with this. I'm probably going to do all the levels again a few times.
Thank you, Serio. Pirates.
There we go. got the all hands on deck achievement. And let me go ahead and do the Strim Pirates. And it's up. Get your pirates in there.
I'm just disappointed that their new racing game they didn't call Stream Racers.
Yeah, it probably would have been a good play on what they do with everything else, but I'm sure there's some legal reason they didn't.
I'm pretty sure it's either because the Speed Racer, Street Racer, or any of the other racer franchises that are one word off that have video games.
Yeah.
So instead they named it after a Discord purchase feature.
Oh yeah, they did call it Nitro, didn't they?
Yep. So they'll have a Nitro server.
Yeah, these companies really need to come up with better names. Like, I am still very much convinced that one of the main reasons Microsoft's Mixer thing died was more because you look for Mixer and you just find...
That website?
No. When you look for Mixer, you're finding audio mixers. Because, you know, there's the audio equipment mixer that they wound up basically copying. And it's like, you guys made a big mistake there.
Yeah, every company has to fumble at some point. Some more spectacularly than others, apparently.
Yeah, like Twitter.
Mm-hmm. I still think any account that impersonates a government entity and says, hey, watch out for X disaster, should get charged with something.
I agree. But I also feel like Twitter should,
Have not caused the whole issue in the first place.
yeah.
Yeah, I think they should be held responsible for inciting panic.
I mean, that, like, being held responsible for it, no. But...
Their
because-
platform allowed someone to more easily impersonate a verified account to spread that information.
True.
Because if they hadn't rolled out a feature that lets you pay for a stupid blue checkmark that's exactly the same as the other stupid blue checkmark, there'd have been no issue. And for fuck's sake, why didn't you just make it a different color?
Because Twitter's whole thing is blue.
I saw someone posted a thing on Twitter about the checkmark with a color code, different colors for different things, and it was the most reasonable, well thought out thing I'd ever seen regarding the blue checkmark.
Oh
There's a
yeah,
color
really. They are really floundering.
This person had a color that denoted content creators, one for news agencies, one for government accounts, one for celebrities. Of course, a Twitter blue profile color. It made sense.
It definitely made a lot of sense. It would make a lot more sense. I personally would not mind a unique, check mark for being a content creator, but at the same time, they don't really respect content creators. Um, like I applied for their business thing, and they're like, no. But I am running a business here. I may be self-employed, but this is still very much a business account. Because there were some, I don't remember what features now, but there were some features that I get access to that I wanted.
Yeah, even as an LLC, I couldn't get one. They gave me some bullshit, you need to have X many employees number to
Yeah.
qualify. It's like, what? I'm a registered LLC. I have my own IRS taxpayer number. Just for the company. I meet your standards. Don't be a douche and change them. Because you don't like small businesses.
Honestly, I'd totally have Mary as actually being on the books as an employee, except I have no idea how to handle that for international stuff.
Even domestic, it would be a pain because you have to start filing and paying unemployment tax at a regular interval, which you yourself can never cash out on. Same with accident insurance and all this other shit. I've looked into it. That's why I ended up doing LLC, sole proprietorship. Because I got to get around a few things that I would have had to pay otherwise. I also would have had to have paid the IRS each quarter.
Alright, last battle on Stream Raiders for the evening, everyone. Place your troops. Yeah, when it comes to the path for you, when it comes to the Pokemon tabletop, so right now, our current thought, something that somebody pushed for, which isn't a terrible idea, but it doesn't feel right either, is basically, we split, so JRPGs have their mind, body, and spirit thing, and that's what they were suggesting that we go with. Except in this case, we split it up into two stats for each. One that's basically offense, one that's basically defense. And it's basically you got physical, special / mental, and then social.
Okay.
Doesn't really sit right with me, but I can't
get
think
where
of
they're coming
anything
from
else.
there. But I see where they're coming from there, but frankly, okay. I don't have a brain to offer alternatives right now. I will say that one of the things that has just in principle bothered me about some of this project is you're reinventing the wheel a lot, and for something that you're not trying to start a game design firm right now, and you're talking about putting it out for free. You're pushing really hard and really fast and reinventing the wheel really hard for someone in that situation. The last person I had push this hard, this fast for game dev or anything else for something that was going to be put out free and that they were relying on volunteer work for, they pitched it as a very big business opportunity and career opportunity, and this is not anything towards you, but unfortunately for me, that left a little bit of a sour taste in my mouth to where I have to tackle these things when I have time if people want my input on them. And one of the biggest pieces of advice I give everybody is I get that you're wanting to tweak the system, and I 100% agree that the system needs to be tweaked, but I don't think it needs a ground-up reinvention. I think it needs tweaking.
I'm not trying to reinvent it. It is going to be different, but I am fully, there's going to be a lot that I'm going to be pulling straight from various places. Like you mentioned, just copying the experience costs over from World of Darkness. I'm not sure I'm going to go that route, just because experience. I'm thinking I'm just going to copy it from Pokeroll because it does feel pretty decent on that.
Okay.
For me, though, it's like I was happy going with the the standard D&D array. Strength through con. But then others are like, no, that doesn't fit. Because not every special attack is based on intelligence and and they were pushing on things, and I'm like, I know.
So if you want to build a Pokeroll system for 5e, build a Pokeroll system for 5e. If you want to reinvent Pokeroll to work in a way you want it to do, then do that. But don't go, this is your project. I love you to death, Sim, but you're not always the best about standing up for what you believe for a project you are heading.
That's
if you want to use the D&D stats, stick to it. Stick to your guns, stand up for that, and make everybody else work around that if you're asking for their input. Otherwise, the other suggestion would be put it together the way you think it should be put together, then bring it to the table for everyone to discuss and fine-tune. As you can kind of hear Jason in the background. Otherwise, you're just going to end up in loops. Nobody's going to be happy. You're just going to end up with a lot of people frustrated, and nothing to show for it.
That is fair. That is very fair.
It's one of the things I keep having to tell people who come to me. It's like, you ran a game store. What do you think on this? And like, I think you're reinventing the wheel, but I'm not. But you kind of are. But this is the only way I could get people to agree to it. Then they aren't the people you need to be working with. If you believe something should work a certain way, and you have no reason that it can't work that way, stick to it. Stand up for it.
I will say that it doesn't quite feel right to me. Like, the D&D one was simple, it was familiar, but it was the easy option instead of what felt right.
Okay. And that's a valid point. That's a very valid point. You'll find that a lot of the advice I have for you tonight, because friggin' jello brain after this morning, is gonna be about managing a team. Because you know where I come from in regards to that one. So one of the things is that as the lead on this, because you are the team lead on this project, no questions. You're the one wanting to do it. You're the one trying to organize people to get it done. As team lead, you do have to be open to, well, maybe these other suggestions are better. But at the same time, asking for everybody's input through every step of the process while not taking command just leaves your ship to founder.
That is fair.
Somebody's got to take control. Somebody's got to take the wheel. The other one is set some realistic goals and boundaries. And if you're expecting this to be an entirely volunteer effort from friends who you roleplay with, who are by and large also streamers, don't expect it to get done in the next 6 months.
I've been doing a lot of them.
Especially if no one's getting paid for it, because you're talking about giving it away for free.
I can't pay anybody. I don't think I could get away with that legally.
Well, yes, but so you have to properly adjust. Cheap, good, fast. Pick 2. You're looking at cheap and good, so it's not going to be fast.
Okay.
So that would be my biggest one right now, is to kind of give you some perspective as to why I'm bringing that point up. I had a gentleman convince me to write a series of articles on that he wanted 4,000 to 8,000 words a week out of me on a purely volunteer basis. And it wasn't just 4,000 to 8,000 words, it was 4,000 to 8,000 words with journalistic integrity and full sourcing. But he was not being considerate of my condition, even though he claimed to be. And he wasn't being considerate of the fact that, I was having to hustle on top of my husband working to keep a roof over our heads. And he took advantage of a lot of disabled people because of that, because he figured he could get free labor out of people who he thought were financially stable. So I know that's not your goal, but I learned a lot from being in that environment about what realistic expectations for when you're putting together a group of volunteers to produce content should be versus some really unfair and unrealistic ones.
So right now, I'm mostly looking, like, after I get the abilities and the attributes sorted out, which I am very happy with where I've got the abilities right now. The attributes are the main thing where I'm just scratching my head, and so that's what I'm looking for help with on. Because as soon as I find something that does feel right, I am sticking to my guns on it. And the abilities now, I am good to go on that. People have problems with it too fucking bad. I think we've covered everything I could think of.
As funny as this sounds, I'm actually going to encourage you to look into classic tri-stat Bessem.
What is that?
Classic tri-stat Bessem. Big eyes, small mouth. So we're talking BSM first ed. In the 90s, they made a ton of IP-specific RPGs.
Oh, yeah.
Licensed through Guardians of Order with the tri-stat system. And there's a reason they did as well as they did to where second ed took almost 20 years. It's because it worked.
Okay. Can I get you to...
Yeah, I will message you the information on that, but basically you have 3 stats. Mind, body, spirit. That's it. Everything else builds off those stats.
Oh. So literally what we were talking... I've honestly been thinking about that, is just doing the mind, body, spirit.
Yeah.
But knowing more about it would definitely help.
Yeah. And I think I may still have a PDF of the Bessem Sailor Moon RPG. I can shoot that over to you as an example. I could probably track down an original copy of Bessem First Ed too on PDF. Guardians of Order sort of took First Ed open source there for a while.
Okay.
But I actually would suggest, because everything's feeling off to you, let's go KISS. Simplify it down to, is it an ability of the mind, is it an ability of the body, or is it an ability of pure, unadulterated peak and willpower?
Okay. That is not a bad idea at all.
But yeah, finding one of the things that I tell people all the time when they're like, well, you know role-playing games? I'm like, yes, but I know a lot of people who know more than me. And the biggest piece of advice I give everybody is read as many as you can before building your own.
I will say, I mean, as far as that goes, I have, read and played in, multiple different editions of World of Darkness. There's a couple of editions of Exalted, D&D, both 3rd, 3.5, 2nd edition, 5th edition. Never touched 4th edition. We don't talk about 4th edition. Pathfinder. I know there are a lot more out there, but those are where I'm bringing my knowledge from.
Yeah, and so you're coming from actually an extremely narrow cross section of the tabletop RPG world.
Really?
You are literally looking at three publishers there. You are looking at Wizards of the Coast, you are looking at White Wolf, And you are looking at Paizo.
There's also, like, these aren't as fresh, but D20 Modern was another system that I played a bit of, like a full campaign.
D20 Modern was still built off of WotC's D&D system.
Yeah.
It doesn't
That's why
count.
I didn't really bring it up. And so, same thing with the Wheel of Time RPG. It was built off of the WotC stuff.
Yeah. The trick, and this is the hard part, is that the trick to getting this done really boils down to you've got to give yourself the opportunity to learn from other people. I literally have a box of books left from my uncle sitting in my dining room that are from 7 or 10 different publishers for just as many different role-playing systems. So when you're talking Paizo, White Wolf, and WotC, you really are looking at, while the largest financial powerhouses in the tabletop RPG world, they are by far a very tiny cross-section of tabletop RPGs in general.
I've looked into a lot of different tabletop systems. Poker Roll is definitely, as it is definitely a unique one for what I've encountered. But like, even I've seen a lot of tabletop games built off of Wizards of the Coast stuff, as well as and then there's the White Wolf stuff.
Right.
I honestly did not realize there was much more beyond that.
I would recommend hitting Kickstarter and searching for tabletop RPGs. Look through them and write down every single one of the things they say that it is built on X system or powered by Y.
I know there.
You figure that one
Sorry.
out real fast. How big that market is.
I do know there's also the Fate system.
Fate's nice. Fate requires a lot of work on the end of the DM.
Yeah. But I am familiar with Fate, at least, though it's not one I personally care for that much.
I struggle with it myself, both from a DM and a player standpoint. It's
too open-ended.
It's a lot well, it's not that. It's a lot of heavy lifting, because you have to figure out how what you're doing is fitting into the vague stats you have.
Yeah.
And that's difficult. No, not impossible to deal with, but difficult. But yeah, honestly, one of the things I can honestly tell people to do is, if they want to start their own if they want to build a role-playing system, they need to be familiar with more than just those 3 manufacturers.
Okay.
Unless you're planning to build something for open gaming license. And none of us got the money for that shit.
What do you mean, money for it?
OGL from WotC for D&D, you have to pay to license it.
Oh.
It is not free.
Good to know.
They when they did it in 3.5, it was free. They lost a lot of money, and so when they did it for 4 and 5, they made it cost to license it. Now, from a corporate standpoint, the expense kind of balances out. But from a small developer standpoint, that's why so many OGL things have gone through Kickstarter, is because in order to publish, they need to pay Wizards.
Ugh.
And I get it, but it's still, depending on if they've changed the prices, it's still $500 per book.
Ah. They really need to learn from the one of the things that I found out about with D&D years ago is that every time somebody has tried to aggressively monetize D&D, their companies have failed. Oftentimes by some kind of freak accident, like D&D is some kind of curse if you try to freaking monetize it aggressively.
Well, and the thing is that WotC's largely been able to monetize 5th edition aggressively, thanks to Critical Role.
Oh yeah.
D&D, between Critical Role and Stranger Things, D&D has entered the realm of, it has left the realm of nerds around a table in a basement and entered the realm of pop culture. It just on a huge, massive scale. The thing is, though, is that WotC needed to do this, because what happened with 3.5 is when they did the OGL for free, it got to the point where game stores could not afford to stock Wizards of the Coast books because of the demand for books not by Wizards of the Coast for the same system. And that triage left Wizards without the money to continue the property. And so how they're doing it is really actually responsible. But it also, if you want to produce either print copies or items for sale under the OGL, you have to pay them a fee. If you're going to make money off of it, they want to make money off of it.
That's fair.
Which is perfectly legitimate. It's their IP.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I'm back.
Welcome back. I'm just been giving them an interesting history lesson on the Open Gaming License.
No, you're giving us introduction to business and management 101.
I mean, yeah, that too.
Hello, other pants.
That is Pocket Tank, my Pocket Tank husband of 15 years.
Oh, that's right. Everybody gets the gaming after the microphone. Hug the monitors.
Well, I mean, welcome Pocket Tank, as far as I'm concerned. You're lighting up his pants, so hello, other pants.
Yeah, he was my partner in crime for the game store, in addition to life. So
the fact that you're married, he really is just the other half of him. Got it.
he really is. He really is. He really is my more analytical half.
Oh, she sees and does, and like leaves me in the dust. Well, I'm still trying to figure out what I've got prepared for.
Yeah, he wants to figure out the whole picture, and I'm the one that's like, okay, we have enough planning, let's actually do the thing.
Oh my god. Okay, Panth, why are you literally just me, and why does Pocket Tank sound like my current partner?
Because people like you and I attract people like our partners.
Yeah, it works for me.
And it works, and they're relationships that work. They really do. But yeah, Zim, I will get you the information on Besom. I would highly recommend hitting Kickstarter one day, getting a list of the systems. A lot of them have the basic character sheets available for free online. So even if you're not sure how they're working together from a numbers standpoint and from an actual roleplay standpoint, you've played enough RPGs that you can figure out kind of what they're going for from a character sheet. It doesn't take much. And so I highly would recommend taking a look at a lot of those just to, make sure you know what you're looking at, what you're looking for, and what you need, because it does you a lot of good to be.
Got shared.
Why did I lose my connection for the stream? But I'm still here in Discord.
That's weird. I did too.
Because? Question mark?
Is Twitch running for any of the rest of you?
With your mics now?
Can you hear me, Sim?
I can hear you. Twitch completely cut out, though.
Yeah, Twitch is gone for me too for a second, and now it's back.
Yeah. That was a weird thing.
It was long enough to count it as a new stream.
Oof.
I got your go live notification on your own page.
Ah!
Gotta love
That
when they do
happens.
that.
Anyway, if you can take a look at those character sheets, I'll get you over some tri-stat information, and that should help you really dial this into where you want it. And that's the biggest advice I can give you right now. Dial it into where you think you want it, or until you get stuck, and then bring people in.
what you have just given me is exactly what I've been looking for.
That's scary.
I just didn't know that that's what I was looking for.
I mean, tell me, has there ever been a time that kind of a situation hasn't been true with me? You never know what you're looking for. Yeah. That on, Thursday morning before a market at 4 a.m.
It's like I'm not really necessarily looking for a bunch of people to be doing this job for me. I'm looking for ideas of where to begin on this, and you've given me exactly what I needed, and I didn't know how to say that that's what I was looking for. Because I didn't really understand it.
You needed a teacher to give you homework.
Yeah.
That's actually where you find mentors.
Exactly. It's why you find mentors.
Well, that's why I was poking you, because I knew you'd have it.
That's true. When I have half a brain and it's not jello from too much fucking adrenaline.
Hey Zim, I have a dumb question for you.
42.
Only dumb question is the only one not asked.
When's the last time you played Ghost Exile?
It's been a while. I have no idea when the last was.
Okay.
And that sounded like streaming.
Rememberas.
It was. Also, are you also streaming, Pan?
I am not. Wednesdays are my days off. I only did the karaoke stream today as a special event. I do Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday.
I took today off from streaming because my friend wanted to do a bonus stream, and he needed an admin.
I would encourage you. I would encourage you to only do one or the other.
What was that?
Oh, he was saying that the reason I don't stream Thursday, or don't stream like Friday and Saturday, is because of the fact that I do have the markets, and if I did stream, he would seriously ride herd on me, so I only did one or the other, and it would result in too many canceled streams, in my opinion.
Ah. Meanwhile, here I am just streaming forever. Always streaming.
Yeah, but this is your full-time job.
Yeah.
My art is my full-time job. My streaming is still my hobby. And ways I'm hoping to start monetizing my art in a different way than just selling it.
Yeah. It's still a fun job, though.
It is. It's a killer fun job. I think we both have really fun jobs.
Far better than having a boss that forces me into things.
And doesn't pay you enough for your time and demands complete and total loyalty.
Oh yeah, that too.
I mean, if you miss part of that, I can at least give you some of the experience.
Why would I?
Yeah, there's a
any
reason
of it?
I've been a. There's a reason I have been an entrepreneur for more than 20 years now.
Yeah, but Zim likes being turned into things. I can force him into things.
No, not necessarily.
I think you'd make a good pet, Marten.
Yes, but then I wouldn't be streaming, so what's your point? And when it comes to
I
a
mean-
pet, who is really the owner?
That is an age-old question that I don't think that we will be able to ever answer until we can speak with animals. As to who's the owner in a pet in a owner pet situation.
The cats always say that.
Yeah.
No, they're doing the buttons too.
Oh, can they train the cats on the buttons now too? Ah!
Cats always say them.
I mean, Zim,
The
If-
whole hierarchy of pet mentality is food for dogs.
Zim, as Pet Marten, you could still stream. I just have to set up the camera and everything for you. There are people who would watch a live stream of a Marten just duking about in a pen with toys and stuff.
It's true.
It is true.
Go flying.
I have a friend who streams with his pet doggo, and there are redeems for what toys or treats to give the dog.
Oh, I would love to have a Marten. I would absolutely figure out a way to attach a GoPro to the Marten.
Yeah, you would.
Zim's
It
new
would
YouTube
just-
printer, Marten Life.
It would be... Anytime I'm streaming, there would probably be... we might make it a Stream Loots card. No, monetize it a little.
Well, naturally.
Probably, especially because I'm sure the Marten would destroy the cameras within a week.
Yeah, probably.
I know they put a stationary camera that would follow in Buddy's room. They put a stationary camera in there that would follow movement. And it didn't even last a week before he destroyed the thing.
Zim, Sirio had a wonderful idea for what I would do for your stream as my pet Marten.
Ah, I
Uh-oh.
see.
I have to look.
Sirio said in chat, there's a 24-hour stream where you can watch ducks and donate bits to activate a feeder.
I actually know about that one. That one's actually rather fun to watch. Though the ducks are getting quite fat.
Naturally. Zim, you could be a round tube as everyone keeps feeding you biddies for food.
No, people wouldn't feed me.
Who wouldn't
They-
feed a cute little Marten?
They outright... No, what they do is they tantalize me with the promise of food, and then don't... And then as soon as I actually get the food, they play a card to make me have to sit there with it right next to me, piping hot and smelling so good, and I can't touch it for 10 minutes.
You're right, I'd play that card.
Uh-huh.
I would play that card immediately after setting down a plate of hard-boiled eggs.
Meh.
I thought you liked eggs.
I do. Doesn't mean that I like every way they're prepared.
What's your favorite?
Scrambled with cheese.
Yeah, that is pretty good.
It's one of my favorites too.
I make a mean diner-style omelet, if you're ever interested.
I
Yum, yum,
love
yum.
omelets as
I love
well.
those.
I like most of the ways that eggs are prepared, just not every way.
Do you like microwaved eggs?
Not really, but I deal with it.
It's better than not going without eggs.
Exactly. Because
I was
there's
about to
no
say-
way I'm going to be able to cook on the stove at all here.
Oh? It's full.
It's a mess.
Sirio, you and I are much alike in that aspect.
Jim cooks and doesn't clean up.
So what I'm hearing is, if I'm down there, I should get a hotel room at like extended stay, where they have a kitchen, and then invite
Yes.
you over to cook breakfast.
Yes, 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 yes.
That would be amazing. I have not
Pam?
had a properly home-cooked meal in so long.
I mean, it would be a home hotel cooked meal at that point.
It's still better than what I've had.
Yeah.
Panth, if you're this interested in it, you're welcome
Oh,
to
I'm-
visit.
I'm interested in the fact that if any of us visit Zim, we need to make sure he gets some decent food.
That too.
I've been eating healthier at least.
Yes, you have been.
Speaking of the polar opposites of healthy and decent food, someone on Twitter shared this gut-wrenching video with me of a person making a grilled cheese sandwich with 2 blocks of ramen noodles.
I've done that. It is not as awful as it looks.
The comment on the TikTok said the same thing, and I'm just sitting there looking at it going like, yes, but my stomach is in physical pain just from watching this.
Oh yeah, no, there's way better options.
Joke.
You know, that's a lot of carbohydrates for one. But it's kind of like crackers and cheese whiz, especially if you're using American.
American
cheese.
is not cheese.
I agree, it is not.
You say cheese whiz, and I think back to my college days where my roommate would buy cheese whiz and just eat like 2 or 3 bottles of it a day, and consider that to be him eating properly.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had I had a restaurant that I went to, and their menu said it was a cheese omelet. And I'm like, okay, I can go for that. They put American cheese in it.
Yeah.
I made them take that back. I'm like, I am not paying for this. You said, your menu said cheese. This ain't fucking cheese. American
This
cheese.
is
makes
vaguely
me sick.
cheese colored and flavored wax.
Pasteurized processed cheese product.
Yeah, that's
It
also been fortified with a lot of sugar.
It is not cheese. The cheese makes the meal.
No,
Yeah, when I cook my
I've
omelets,
converted Pocket Tank to the cult of cheddar.
yeah, when I
Cheddar's
cook my omelets,
fantastic, but so are so many other cheeses. But go ahead, Spirit.
I was gonna say when I make my omelets, I use shredded mozzarella and shredded mild cheddar.
I like sharp cheddar personally, but
Sharp
As
cheddar
far
I
as-
more prefer as an ingredient for larger dishes.
I love sharp cheddar dipped in honey.
I don't know about that combination personally.
It is amazing.
I'll take your word for it and never try it myself.
My family ancestrally is Danish, and it is a Danish treat. Sharp cheese with honey.
My ancestry is mutt.
I am a mutt, but a lot of it comes from Northern Europe.
Poland, Switzerland, and two others I can't name offhand because I'd have to look at my actual family ancestry tree thing.
Well, speaking of food, unfortunately it is time for me to head off.
Yes, go eat.
I think
I
my
haven't
best
done that
thing
today.
I like making with cheese is a mild cheddar and provolone grilled cheese on sourdough.
Ooh. I do a cheddar and Granny Smith apple with blackberry.
I'm already getting
jam
ready to
grilled cheese.
stop, okay?
I do make a 7 cheese mac and cheese you would love.
Ooh, that sounds like it might almost be too many cheeses.
There is no such thing as too many cheeses
I mean, fair.
until you're stopped up for a week. But even then, there's no such thing as too many cheeses. Ironically, I'm
Want
lactose
mac and
intolerant.
cheese?
Zim, come visit. I will cook you mac and cheese and
How the hell am I gonna
cheese.
get there?
and 3 cheese penne and grilled cheese and cheesy omelets and scrambled cheese eggs.
And you have yet to answer how the hell I would get there.
By the power of your love of cheese and eggs.
I can't even make it down the goddamn block, let alone wherever you are walking. And I don't have a car.
Now, I'll just make you lots of good, delicious dishes the next time you come out to visit your grandparents.
My grandparents? They're not in Utah.
I thought they were the ones you were living with out here. I may be misremembering.
I didn't live with anyone or any family members out there for a long
You gotta get off
time.
the computer right now.
But
Okay.
my mom is still out there.
Well, next time you're out here visiting family, I will make you yummy food.
I don't know if that
And
will
the
ever
next time
happen.
And the next time I'm in Omaha, I still owe you that sushi trip.
I told you I do not want sushi.
Oh yeah, we were trying to pick a different restaurant for that.
Yeah. Sushi is something I don't like.
Actually,
least
the
I have
same
never-
restaurant.
I have yet to find any that I do like, I should say.
The
I
same
wanna-
restaurant has really good udon noodles and ramen, if that works.
Ramen is good. Udon, eh?
It's really easy to overcook udon, so it's really tricky.
But anyways, thank you everybody so much for joining me today for PowerWash Simulator. Check
you've
out our
only been streaming.
website. Check out our website, zgfgaming.com. We've got links for our Discord, Telegram, Twitter, Patreon, and more. There on the website, as well as down in the description below through our link tree. Thank you to my patrons, donators, and subscribers. It is because of your support that I'm able to continue bringing these streams to you all. I seriously cannot do this without your guys' help and support, so thank you. Consider becoming a patron over at patreon.com/zgfgaming. It's one of the best ways to support the channel, though you can also do so by simply sharing the stream around, as well as picking up some packs through stream loots. But for now, thank you all for joining, and I bid you the most fondest adieu.
A Duke.
Yeah.